What's happening, people? Just got done mowing the fields. Just want to take a second and hop on here and do a quick update. Sorry, I'm sweating. It's hot. Uh, let's see. So, big news in Syria. The let's see, UAE and Saudi Arabia, I believe are the two, have paid off Syria's debts to the tune of 15 billion plus some change. Um, so, this really gets me going as far as the RV is concerned, because what do we, what like what's happened in the past little bit. So Trump's doing his Middle East tour, securing trillions of dollars in new deals. Um, I think it's a pivotal moment. He's lifting the sanction, or he lifted, gave the word to lift the sanctions on Syria. Um, and now the Middle East is paying off Syria's debt. The World Bank is resuming operations in Syria. Guys, it's screaming RV. I mean, why would they be doing that if not to get Syria International, get them like warp drive speed up to speed with where Iraq is, all in time for the Arab Summit. And now Iraq is wanting um, Trump to come and speak at the Arab Summit. My gut, I think he will. Um, is that going to trigger the rate change, the RV, and all, everything? It's hard not to think that. I always try to go to the cautious side of things, and not not be TNT Tony and say, "Oh, it's happening in country already, and I know the rate, and if you're my exclusive platinum priority member, you're going to get a better rate than everyone else." I mean, come on. If you guys are still listening to that, I don't know what to tell you. Um, Anywho, I don't know why I got off on that tangent, but um, man, it's getting super exciting. Seeing all the stuff going on with Trump, securing all these major deals for Boeing and all the American companies. Um, it's very Nasara-esque. So it sure does seem like big things are happening. It sure does seem like the light at the end of the tunnel just may have been turned on. So it's a train coming at us, but I don't know, guys. It's getting exciting. Big things are happening. Like, again, I know you guys are sick of me saying it, but we're living in history that the history books are going to write about one day. When the world changed, instead of the Great Reset, like with Tartaria and all that stuff, we're having a great reset in finances and in world economies, um, and it's going to usher in a new era. It's a little bit scary, especially with AI and how insanely advanced all these robots are getting. I mean, it's like if you watch that movie I, Robot, um, it's getting like that. I mean, how long is it going to be before we see robots picking up our garbage and doing all the things that most people don't want to do? Um, it's going to. I mean, it's going to lead into a new era, a new world that we're not even aware of or ready for. Um, so what happens when robots take over, jobs like that? So what's the plan for the humans that used to do those jobs? Um, Sorry, I keep wiping my face. It's just really hot. And it's like 2,000% humidity. Um, So what's going to happen when robots take over all these jobs? I think that has to be, Nasara type thing with universal basic income, and not. It's so easy to misconstrue that with like welfare and people who abuse the welfare system. Um, and I hear a lot. Well, it's just going to make people lazy. I just don't know what the future's going to hold with that, because I mean, think about prior to the 30s, before the Great Depression, and before the Federal Reserve or the creature from Jekyll Island, before all that stuff happened, and people could make a living being like selling crafts or having a farm or being creative. So are we going to go back to an era like that where, like, if the shackles of debt and the shackles of being a good worker bee um, are gone, what does that mean for humanity? I mean, what is that going to allow people to come up with the next revolutionary tech, or I don't know. I mean, I love seeing all the um, I'm going to probably murder this word, but I don't know. I can't say it. The people going back to the old ways of healing yourself with food and herbs and whatever, picking a plant and eating it and then it cures something. So I love seeing that big shift away from big pharma. But what else is going to happen when people are freed from the system slavery of debt and having to work your life away just to retire, have a stroke, and die? I mean, that's the system that we've been born and raised in. So when all that's gone, what's life going to look like? I think it's going to be pretty amazing. Scary, yeah, because we don't know the future. We don't know what we don't know. But I think it's just really going to be a really amazing future that we're getting ready to step into. And I think we're like that close from it. Um, but the reset has to happen first. Um, Prosperity has to return to individuals so they're free to walk away from these jobs. And I'm fine with AI taking over jobs like Amazon or order picking or simple things like that, because I've been on the other side of that. I've worked for Amazon before, and I see how demeaning it is to work in those facilities, and the lack of empathy for the associates that work there. And there's plenty of associates that abuse the system and they get what they get, but there's also people who are genuinely needing those jobs and work. There's people that are handicapped, like I'm talking severely handicapped, like wheelchairs, or they're on there. There was a guy when one of the places in Florida, the dude had a prosthetic leg, and he was an older guy, tough as nails, and he had like some Walmart discount prosthetic limb, and that old man could work circles around people. And I had a conversation with him one time, like, don't why are you still doing this and blah blah blah. And he's like, his Social Security isn't enough to live on. He didn't have a pension. He worked construction all of his life, so he didn't really have savings and all that stuff. So that was his reality. So when you free people like that from the system after the reset, can you imagine? I mean, you hear the word debt jubilee, and it's kind of just a buzzword that people don't really grasp. But a jubilee is like, I mean, you think back in the Bible days when they had this debt jubilee, and like suddenly you worked off your indenturedness to being a servant or a slave or whatever, and you were suddenly set free. I mean, it was like party all night long, you know. They were dancing in the streets, and I mean, it. Can you imagine not having to go to work tomorrow? I mean, or if you're on retirement and Social Security, and suddenly you have money to travel to go see your family, or see whatever, go see the Great Wall of China before you pass away. I don't know. All I know is we're on the cusp of a new world, um, and it's going to be. I think it's going to be pretty amazing. Could it? There's always the talk about, oh, we're living in the end days and Bible prophecy, and you know, Trump's the Antichrist and all that nonsense. Yeah, everything that's happening, QFS and digital, tokenized money, not tokenized, but blockchain, crypto, and all this stuff. I think a marker will be when there is no cash. There's no currency, coins, gold, precious metals. When it's all digital, when you have nothing but digital, that opens the door um, to tyrants. My dyslexia is off the chart today. Um, so I don't think we're there yet. I think we're going to have a really amazing future. I think it's very close, and I can't wait to see you guys on the other side. That's it for now. I know I've been rambling a little bit, but when you're mowing for a couple hours, you got a lot to think about. All right, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.